Lana, congrats on the film. I really enjoyed it. What was the biggest adjustment in filming this? Because, the cartoon characters aren't actually brought to life. I know you had some stand-ins like for certain characters, but that probably wasn't always possible. Some of these characters are very odd shapes and sizes. So how was that experience?
It was awesome. I mean, we did have some stand-ins come in. Um we also had an incredible actor come in for Foghorn Leghorn. And he performed his entire role in a green in a green suit. So that was great. Like we had a real person to like work off of. And then, but all the other characters that, there weren't stand-ins or weren't actors for, they honestly, truly, Tyler, there are so many more Looney Tunes characters in our film than I even knew as I was filming it. Like I genuinely was so delighted and surprised when I watched it for the first time. And like, there's so much to look at. You're like, oh, Porky just back there, Porky just fell. Oh, yep, okay. Oh, over there, you're do so and so is doing what? It's just there was just so truly so many more characters were added to the film that I didn't even know when I initially was doing it. But we also worked with an incredible puppet master, Dave Barkley, who puppeted Wiley. Um, and he built a life-size Wiley, and he would puppet him and he would like kind of move him throughout the space and give us a general sense of where he would be in the space and his emotions. And then they would pull him out and put a tennis ball in. But it was really fun. It's a great challenge. It's like I like to equate, when you're working in CGI or animation or anything like or hybrid films like this, like I always find them the most fun because it just feels like you're a kid again in acting class and like, you're in a black box and you're just using your imagination. So that's kind of how I felt when I got to work with these characters that weren't actually there.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's really pure in a way, and I love that you mentioned not being surprised. I can't wait to rewatch this film. There's so many little touches and jokes, and
Totally.
I read this great story where you didn't know that you filmed a scene with Bugs Bunny because they changed it in post. How was that initial time when you were watching the film and you were like, "What is going on?" I didn't
I
even know I
was
had a scene with the most iconic cartoon character.
I was imagine my surprise. I was like, okay, I know this scene, like we're going to the carrot farm, whatever. I was like, we're gonna go see Elmer. I was told I think I was told, yeah, I was either told or it was scripted it was Elmer Fudd. But I didn't think, not for a second. So I was very, I was like post starstruck, you know what I mean? And it was awesome. And yeah, I never thought I'd get to share the screen with him. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a dream come true. And this
Yeah.
movie's quite wacky, but you're playing the straight woman in these scenes. Will Forte is a well-hearted guy, but a bit of a mess in this film. Others are literal cartoon characters. Actors usually match the energy of their co-stars and surroundings. So how is it staying more level and even-heeled when everybody else is being, so goofy?
That's such a good question. Man, my entire motivator throughout this whole film was, or Paige's entire motivator was make make Kevin believe that he is worthy of so much more and make him believe in himself. So my entire job really was to support Kevin and be like, you need be better. Be better. It was always to just like apply pressure to him. And so I think that like because that's my want, it's quite simple. It's I want him to be better. I want him to rise to the occasion and not settle in life and in cases, but to do something with the power that he has, and he's an attorney. Um, so I think it's very easy to kind of we knew the tone really well. We locked in the tone really well, like early days of this film. But I think it was really easy to kind of stay the straight person because my want is very simple, you know?
That makes total sense. I also love your character's persistence. She has her morals. She knows what's right, and she's passionate about it. What about this character did you really connect with?
Yeah, truthfully, it's a little personal. When I initially read the script, I Paige reminded me so much of my mom. And so I really wanted to I remember pitching to Dave when I first sat down with him, our incredible director. I was like, "Hey, I sat down with him and I was like telling him how I would my interpretation of Paige and how I would choose to play her if I was so lucky to be cast. And I had said, I would kind of play my mother. Like my mom, she is endlessly curious and kind and thoughtful and believes in the power of good and all these things. So I was like, I would really like this would be it would be an honor for me to do this movie for so many reasons, but also like I really feel like I would be able to play a character close to my mom. And then my mom actually recently passed. And I think that recent to me, but it was like 2 years ago. Um, and so I think that yeah, what drew me to what draws me to a lot, like I do play a lot of characters that lean more kind and curious and delightful and genuinely I that's the type of work that I like to do, and I also just really wanted to have the opportunity to kind of do that for my mom. So
Well, first off, I'm very sorry for your loss,
thank
and I think you really, did a wonderful justice and tribute in a way in this film as well.
thank
And
you.
while I was watching this film, I was really struck by how the plot mirrored the whole release situation with
I
the film.
know.
Like, it's also cartoonish and absurd, but it really did
So
happen basically in real life here.
it's
You know, I'm sure,
unbelievable.
I'm sure that was a whole roller coaster for you of emotion. But do you feel like ultimately it was for the best because this film became more than just a release? It became like a real rallying point, and it mirrors its themes so perfectly.
Absolutely. I mean, we did not plan this. Trust me. Like I've heard whispers like did they plan this like as a marketing ploy because it literally mirrors the movie to a T? Absolutely not. In what scenario would we ever want to go through the last 4 years of turmoil and self-hate and hate for everything? So no, we definitely didn't plan it, but it unfortunately and to your point, kind of fortunately, is proving to be kind of a blessing in disguise. Um, it's been crazy. It's like it's it mirrors the movie almost exactly. But it was tough. It was definitely tough. Will was the one that broke the news to me, and then we went to the funeral screening, which I didn't even know funeral screenings existed. We went to the funeral screening on the Warner Brothers lot, and we kind of went into it thinking, well, maybe it's a bad movie because the film is so much of it is CGI animation. So when we were actually on set in Albuquerque, there was obviously so much that we didn't actually see. So we were like, because we didn't see a lot, like maybe it wasn't great, and maybe this is a blessing in disguise." And then we left the funeral screening, and we were like, the movie that you saw the movie, right?
Yes.
The movie that
Yep.
you saw is the exact movie um, to my knowledge, is the exact movie that's coming out. Like we didn't it, that it was changed. It was not changed. It was like boom, this is it. So we saw the exact movie that you saw, and we were like, oh, oh, this is really good. Okay, this sucks even more. And so it was just like, yeah, the highs were high, the lows were lows, but the highs were definitely high. And I think more than anything, we all have so much, the cast and crew alike have so much gratitude towards the audience. We're just so grateful it's coming out at all. So we couldn't be more excited and thankful.
Yeah, just like the film, it's an incredible tale of perseverance and persistence and doing the right thing. So I'm really glad this art's seeing release. Lana, thank you so much for your time today, and congrats on the film. I thought it was really hilarious.
Thank you so much. You're a
Thanks,
delight.